So I'm recording now. So I just want to say that this meditation is not about taking sides or focused on any personalities. It is a meditation for world peace. It's about love and how we can live in shared coexistence with authentic connection to everyone from our hearts. Yoga means union. And our first practice for this is called a yama or yama. It's the Sanskrit word some of you may know called ahimsa. And this means non-violence. But in yoga, we see that this has to start with each one of us in thought and word and deed, because whatever we see in the world outside is a reflection of what is inside. This is the message of yoga. We all have some inner unconscious darkness, and if we can do nothing else, we can at least work with that, bringing light and peace to our own shadows, and also peace to those around us who we may perceive as the enemy. So by this, I mean we can try to live harmoniously even when we're triggered by our friends, our families, by our communities, and even by politicians. So all times we try to check our thinking towards others. We check our speech and actions. So this means we're not judging, blaming, or finger pointing, or confusing our opinions with truth, or labeling anyone as right or wrong. We're not going into division. And when this is our daily practice, where they're not feeding into the vibration of fear or anger, but instead are focusing on transmitting genuine love, compassion, and sympathy, both to our own inner demons, but also for everyone on our beautiful planet, even those who are causing violence because of their own darkness. And this is how we help to bring peace to our world, by focusing on light and not dark. And we are here together, of course, because there's war and because the people in the Ukraine are suffering desperately. What is going on now is horrendous because war is violence, the opposite of ahimsa. And as always in war, innocent people get caught in the crossfire. So we're aiming in our meditation to bring peace and love to everyone in the Ukraine, but also everywhere in the world, especially where there is suffering and division. It has been proved through various studies, including a very famous one in Jerusalem in the 1970s, led by a Maharishi yogi, that when a group of people come together and meditate on peace, then peace breaks out. When we come together in love to meditate, as we're doing now, we raise the vibration to what is needed in our world. This is true even if you're watching the recording. It really can and does work, especially if we believe and feel it will, because that is how manifestation happens. So starting now, just take a moment or two to think about your posture. If you're sitting, just check that your shoulders are relaxed, you're evenly spaced across your buttocks. You have space between the crown of the head and the tailbone. When we meditate, we do two things. We start by grounding because we're dealing with higher energies, and then we make an intention. So just, if you're sitting, think about your feet on the floor. Think about the connection of your tailbone. If you're lying, just feel your body on the earth. Drop your awareness from your head to the light in your heart. And if you can't feel this yet, don't worry, just bring your attention here. We can call this light the inner Christ, or our Buddha nature, or our Krishna nature. It doesn't matter how you name this. This is your own authentic light, your unchanging peaceful nature that's always available when you become still. So our intention is that every person in the world, including ourselves, may be led to peace, and that we can have an open heart connection to every living being, and that we may all be the architects of building a compassionate, safe, and kind world. We're slowly going to imagine now that we are filling our body with light. So bring your focus to your feet and just feel your feet. And imagine your feet are filling with light. And now draw that light up to your knees, so your lower legs are becoming filled with light. Up through your knees, up your thighs to your hips, so your legs are becoming light filled. And then visualize this light drawing up from your hips, up your torso, up through your belly, your chest, the fronts and backs of the body drawing up to your shoulders, your torso becoming light filled. Visualize the light around your shoulders, traveling down your arms, elbows, lower arms, down your hands, back up again to your shoulders. And particularly bring your focus, drop your awareness into your heart center and feel your heart center filled with light. Drawing this light up now through your neck to your head. So the whole of your body slowly, slowly becoming filled with radiant, beautiful light. And now become aware of your breath. And just focus on the out breath. This is the mind riding on the breath. So just allow your awareness, your attention to focus on going out on the exhalation. And then releasing the breath, you can come back to the breath if the mind wanders. Just be aware that around you is a bubble of silence. And you may hear sounds in your environment. Just allow everything to be as it is. So don't let the sounds disturb you. And instead, just focus your mind on the silence. Dropping into the silence. This is the silence of your own presence. And you might like to feel this silence as radiant light, radiant silence from which everything arises. And in this silence is peace. It is peace. It's the birthplace of all manifestation and creation. So just allow your awareness to focus on this radiant silence. And if thoughts or sounds arise, just notice that they arise, then they disappear. Gently bringing your awareness back to this radiant silence. Gently bring your awareness back to your heart center, visualizing light around the heart. And visualize this light radiating outside your body, radiating and lighting up the whole of your space where you are. And then visualize this light traveling outside your space, out through the ceiling, the walls, the windows, down your street or lane to your town or village, radiating out to your environment. And see this light spreading out from your heart, out through the area where you are, out to the country, wherever it is that you are. Just directing this light to everybody in your country. And now with one heart, we're going to direct this light to our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine. Out across to Russia, lighting up across Russia, and then over that very narrow piece of water to Canada. Down to America, South America, across the oceans to Europe, Africa, the whole of Asia, down to Australia, New Zealand and all the South Pacific Islands, until the whole world is bathed in light from the heart. Imagine our whole world bathed in light, compassion, and love from the heart. Bring your awareness back to the light of the heart, your heart center. And imagine the beautiful globe of the world as a small sphere hovering in front of you. You might like to see this as a blue sphere. So visualizing this sphere in front of you, just bring light from your heart to the sphere. So the light is from yourself, to everyone, to everything. Sending our planet peace and love. Feel the globe of the world in your heart now. Feel that love, that peace, that compassion. The world is you, the love is you. We are not separate from the world, and we are not separate from love. Just feeling that love and peace for the world, our world in your heart. So just knowing when many of us come together in peace, when we feel the peace, we are actually creating a more peaceful, loving world. So just know that peace is possible and feel your whole being. Feel in your whole being, this peace is manifesting. Knowing that we are peace and the planet is peace. And if the mind wanders, just bring it back either to the out-breath or the light in the heart, or the visualization of our beautiful planet as a sphere bathed in beautiful white radiant light, the light of love, peace and compassion. Again, if the mind wanders, bring it back either to the exhalation or the radiant bubble of peace, the silence which surrounds you and which you are not separate from. Because this silence is your everlasting presence. Bringing your awareness back into your body. I'm just going to read out a quote now from Albert Einstein, which is something he wrote in 1954. A human being is a part of a whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Bring your awareness now back into your body. Just become aware of the position of your body. If you're sitting, be aware of your feet on the floor, your hips on the seat. If you're lying, just be aware of the support under you. And become aware of the breath, the natural rhythm of the breath. And then giving yourself a moment or two to come to. Taking your time. When you're ready, begin to open your eyes. And then just allow yourself some time to come back to here and now. So if you like to, you can rub your hands together. You can just look around your space. You might like to stand up and stretch. Just take whatever time you need.